Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for being here today. I hope everyone is enjoying their nice warm weather. I'm in Indiana, as you guys probably know, and we've had some pretty warm days here and it's absolutely beautiful. I can hear the birds chirping, the sun's still up, it's almost 8 o'clock, so that is always enough to put me in a good mood. So I hope you all are enjoying it as well. As usual, if you are interested in tarot cards, tarot readings, true crime, unsolved crime cases, missing persons cases, and the occasional candle making video, please consider subscribing. And for those of you who come back every week, I thank you so much for that. I'm getting so close to the subscriber count that I need to be able to go on and do lives and do readings for you all, so I'm really excited and I can't wait for that to happen. Also, I do, on the flip side, want to I'm just saying, if you do not like tarot readings or tarot cards or any kind of divination for that matter, and this offends you, you do not have to watch. You can just keep on keeping on. I did receive a couple of comments on my last video in regards to Aaliyah Ramirez, and one person did respond that she thought it was very disrespectful to do a video on someone who's only been missing for a week. I think it's the opposite, actually. I think that that's a prime time to do it because you're helping to get the word out, and you're also putting things out there that help you to think outside of the box, okay? Other possibilities. There are keys and hints in the symbolism, in the numbers, in the imagery in the card itself that may not necessarily mean anything to me. But they might mean something to people who are close to her and who know Aaliyah, and it may help. For example, with Aaliyah's case in particular, I drew a lot of 9s, and so 9, I think, does play a role in her case. I don't know what the 9 is, okay, but someone else may know. I pulled a couple of cards on her the other day in the evening, and I did pull some more 9s, and so that was the first thing I noticed right away. There's something going on with the number 9 with her. But, you know, again, if you find this to be offensive, you do not have to watch. You do not have to watch. You know, I just wanted to throw that in there and say that. All right, so for today's case, it was another requested video, and it is the case of Macin Smith. A young man at the age of 17 years old disappears from his home in St. George, Utah on September 1st, 2015. Macin was the youngest of 6 children, grew up in a Mormon home. Not that that really matters, but I do think it's important because if the Hierophant card comes out, it could have something to do with that. I think the parents were kind of strict from what I have read, and it's interesting because apparently they originally lived in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time, I think it was when he was getting ready to start his senior year in high school, they decided to make this massive trip from Canada to St. George, Utah. And I don't necessarily know the reasoning behind it. I think that it's possible the mother had family in Utah. I'm not sure, but I think I have read something about there being family in Utah, so I'm not sure if that's where the mother is originally from or not. But a move like that in a child's senior year or right before their senior year, I think is intense. That's my opinion. So I'm not really sure of the whole story of why this move took place, but in the beginning it was just Macin and his mother. So all of his older siblings were, I think, grown and out of the house and living their own lives at that point. So the dad, I think, also stayed in Canada for work, and the mom ended up having a job opportunity and off they went, and I think it was actually a pretty good move from what I read. Macin seemed to like it out there. There was a lot of outdoor activities that he could do. There were, you know, drastic changes in weather from Canada to Utah. And it seemed like in those first 6 months that they moved, he was doing really well. So let me give you a little bit of background of Macin. So when Macin was a toddler, his parents noticed that he had a speech delay. He ended up being put into speech therapy for, I think, the majority of his childhood. And he did improve, I think, with the speech therapy, but he was left with a speech impediment. And so that caused, I think, a lot of bullying from classmates at school, which ultimately led to him dealing with depression. So that was a struggle for him. One of the things that he did to pass the time away, he wasn't really a social kid. I don't think that he had a tight friend group or anything like that. It wasn't really, into social media. He really enjoyed playing his games, and he enjoyed anime. He loved watching anime. And that was what he liked to do. However, the parents were, kind of strict about it, and when he did so much of that and it was affecting his grades and his overall academics, they kind of monitored how often he could watch anime and how often he could play games, which sounds reasonable. When our kids are into those things and they're doing it so much, if they're on the computer so much and it's affecting their grades, we usually will put a time limit on it, right? So that doesn't seem too far-fetched. So when they did move out to Utah, I think Macin was really trying really hard to get his grades up and working at it, and was trying to earn his privileges back at that point. And I believe that he did have some privileges. I think I read somewhere that his mom at 10 p.m. would go ahead and unplug the internet cord and then hide it so that he could not play on his games or watch anime all through the night, because that's what he would do. And so, it sounds like maybe he had a 10 p.m. cutoff time. I don't know how many hours he had on anime or game playing prior to that. I don't know if there was, maybe after dinner and homework you had an hour and a half. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but we know that at 10 p.m. he was not on the internet or watching anime. So, anyway, long story short, they're in Utah. About 6 months later, Dad moves back home, and it seems like at this point things change drastically. I don't know if Dad was more strict than Mom, but I think that that's kind of when things became a little bit more intense at home, as far as the game playing, as far as the watching of anime. And let's fast forward up to the night before his disappearance. Mom goes to unplug that internet cord, and I think was tired. She was too tired, so she didn't hide it. Goes to bed. I think the parents wake up in the middle of the night. The dad makes a comment. He's like, well, I'm going to go and check and see if Macin's on the internet, because I bet you if anything he's over there watching anime right now. I think it might have been around 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure, but I think it was in the early morning hours. So sure enough, Dad gets up, he goes down the hallway, he goes to Macin's room. He can see the blue light under his door. He knows automatically that Macin's either playing games or watching anime. He opens up the door. Sure enough, that's what he was doing. And I think Macin knew that the gig was up, and his dad confiscated all of his electronics, and Macin didn't put up a fight. He just handed them over, and Macin's dad goes back to bed. Now later on, Macin's dad actually does say that it wasn't a big deal, that Macin didn't put up a fight, he didn't argue, he didn't say anything, he just handed me everything, and I went back to bed. And he said that it was kind of like a little joke, that they laughed about it when they went back to bed. It just wasn't a big deal. So the following morning, Macin's parents are in bed. They can hear Macin getting ready for school. They hear him opening and closing the garage door like he would every day when he would walk to the bus stop. And that was it. That's the last time they've ever heard from him or seen. Actually, they did not see him that morning. The last time they seen him was the evening or the night before. And that's it. And we're going on year 6. So interesting enough, about a week after his disappearance, his mom was looking in his wallet or looking in his things, and she did come across a note or a letter that had been folded up and hidden inside Macin's wallet. And this letter has never been released to the public. We can only speculate based on the little bits and pieces that we've heard about this letter. It kind of sounds like the mom has described this letter as possibly a suicide letter or a goodbye letter. The only thing that she has released, the one phrase that she has released that Macin wrote in it is, "I am done." So I totally get this. This was a private moment, a private letter that Macin wrote to family, I'm assuming. So been their choice to not release it. I don't know if police have read this letter, but I don't think in the beginning when he first went missing, or when they realized that he did not go to school that day, that anything was a concern at that point. He was getting ready to graduate. He, mom went to go pay for his cap and gown that day, the day that he did not go to school, the day that he did not come home from school. She continued on. They continued on with their daily lives. I don't think that they thought anything too alarming at that point, because Macin had run away before in the past, and he came home soon after, I think within a day or two. So I think at this point they really kind of looked at this as a possible runaway, that perhaps he was more upset about handing over his electronics the night before than what he led on to be. And maybe this was just his way of blowing off some steam, and he would be back. And he has never come back. So, we don't know what this case is. We don't know if this is a runaway, if something has happened to him. It could be a case where this kid ran away, and maybe he had all intentions of coming home and he ran into foul play. It could be something like that. We don't know if he's alive, if he's not alive. Did he harm himself? Is suicide a factor here? There's never been any remains found. I think that they've pretty much searched the whole area around them. There was a sighting shortly after he went missing. A man that resembled Macin apparently was trying to hitchhike his way to Las Vegas. So they, I think, went out to Las Vegas. They were searching for him. Come to find out that man had been located, and it was not, in fact, Macin. There's been a couple of other sightings here and there. It always seems to be that it's never Macin. So is this kid, is he living somewhere? We just don't know. So that's what we're going to pull cards on today. I've got two decks here. I've got the Low Scarabeo and I've got the Dark Grimoire. I kind of felt drawn to the Dark Grimoire today for this reading, so I think I'm going to start with that that deck. And the first question I want to ask is, actually no, I don't think I'm going to ask a question right now. I think I just want to see what comes up on Macin. I just want to see what comes up on Macin and see what we can get as far as the background, the story. So, what can we find out about Macin Smith? Macin Smith. What do we need to know about Macin Smith? Macin Smith. 17-year-old Macin Smith. What do we need to know about Macin Smith? Oh. All right, so these fell out. Okay, so the Tower, Page of Wands, and the Empress. So right away, we've got devastation, change, and we've got Mom. Okay, so Mom is coming out right away, and the Tower. We all know, if you're into tarot, if you know anything about tarot cards, the Tower, no one wants the Tower card in their reading because it is abrupt change that's happening whether you want it to or not. Oftentimes, it brings about change that needed to happen, but it's devastating to go through it. So, this to me, if you look at the background with all the clouds and everything happening, usually there's lightning in here. I don't think there's any lightning with this one in particular, but this to me is the home life. And honestly, I feel like I kind of have a feeling that this could be when Dad came back home. But for whatever reason, Mom is coming up. Mom's the one coming up. We've got devastation and change and disruption at home. And we've also got Mom. Now, in this particular deck, which is interesting, this Empress card, we have two guys down here. We've got two guys down here kind of bowing to her, right? Which is different from the normal Empress card. So it kind of makes me feel like one of these guys is representing Macin, that he tried to please his mom, he tried to make her happy, he would do anything for her to make her happy. I get that feeling with this particular card. I get that feeling, but there was something that happened that could not be stopped. Okay, something. Page of Wands, I think that this is definitely Macin. Okay, we're looking at Macin. And, you know, I do think that I'm going to pull more cards, obviously, and I want to ask specifically if he left on his own, but I feel like this is an indication that he did, in fact, leave on his own, that this was something that came into his head, something that he wanted to do. I don't know if he was necessarily prepared to do it, but I do think that there's something going on here. There's something, yeah, let me pull to clarify. All right, did Macin leave on his own? Did Macin leave willingly? Did Macin leave his home willingly? Very interesting as to what has come up already. Did Macin leave willingly? Did Macin leave willingly? Did Macin leave willingly? Yeah, he was unhappy. 4 of Cups. The Moon. The Stars. Jesus. 4. 4 of Wands. We've got a lot of 4s here. So, well, we've got 2. 4 is stability and foundation. Okay, and we've already got that Tower. So that tells me that there was something wrong with the foundation. The foundation was not there. Or it was there, but it was shaken or broken. Something was going on in the home. 4s are comfort, foundation. Now we've got the Tower. So this definitely, I feel like, has something to do with his home life. This 4 of Cups here, this is unhappiness. Okay, I literally look at this and I feel like we're looking at Macin sitting in his room, really unhappy. Let me look at this card here. Look at that. He's actually got a piece of paper in his hand. You know, is this him sitting down, upset, sad, you know, writing his thoughts on paper? You know, this is just, yeah, this is sad. His facial expression is just horrible. And then you've got that window. You've got the window of opportunity. You've got things out there that he's probably wanting to experience, which I think goes along with this Page of Wands. So the 4 of Wands again, usually the 4 of Wands is a form of celebration, but it doesn't necessarily have to. I mean, this actually to me looks like they're about ready. This to me, this card in this particular deck with this image looks like accomplishment. Almost there, okay? Wanting something, going and getting it, and you're really close to achieving your goal. So I do feel like this is a path that he chose. Okay, this was something that he chose to do. I think he chose to leave. This was an idea. He was terribly unhappy, I think. But I think that his mom, I think the reason why the Empress is coming out is because I think he did, I think, love his mom, and I think he did try to make her happy as much as he could. I don't think that he felt like he could, though. For whatever reason, he did not feel that way. And then we have the Moon and the Star. So talk about duality right there, right? The Moon can sometimes mean secrets. It can mean, dreams. Does his mom ever have dreams about her son? I don't know. For some reason, that's the first thing that came to my mind, is the mom having dreams about him, which I could imagine you probably would, given the situation. But this one here, I wouldn't say so much as dreams as I would nightmares, because it looks like this person here is being chased by these monsters. This is like a deck that has a lot of creatures and monsters and whatever in it, and so there's going to be a lot of that theme in these cards. But this is a person I feel like has demons that they're fighting internally, and so I do feel like possibly the mother especially is dealing with these feelings of guilt, maybe. I think it's really bothering her more so than she likes to admit. I have not watched any interviews with her. I don't even know if she's done any interviews or has came out and said anything, but I do feel like this kind of is telling me that she carries a lot of guilt, and like I said, not so much has dreams, but has nightmares and feels somewhat responsible. But I don't, let me see here, and the stars. So the stars for me represents a multiple number of something, whether it be people, whether it be something specific that you're talking about. But we have a lot of stars in the sky, right? So we have a bunch of them, and so that's what that represents. It also represents to me, the stars can represent goals, your wishes, wants, desires, and usually is a good omen that those things are going to be achievable or happen. So the star card kind of coming out makes me feel like either one, there are several people that are aware, or there's at least a couple of people that know what happened to him, or something like that, or he is still alive. Okay, he is still alive, or it can just simply be the hope that the mother is holding out. Okay, it could be just her wish. Actually, with it being right next to this moon, and I feel like she does have some guilt. I do feel like it, since it's side by side, it could just simply be that she wished things had been different. She wishes she could turn back time. She wishes he could come home. She prays, she wants him to come home. I really do think this is the mom. I really do. I think this is the mom, especially it's located right underneath the Empress and right next to the moon. I think that the mom is truly devastated. I really do. I don't think mom has anything to do with this. I don't think mom is hiding anything. I think that there was a significant special relationship between mom and Macin. I think that they both loved each other dearly, and I think that he did what he could to make her happy. But because of whatever happened in that house, and I'm going to have to pull some clarifiers on the tower, okay, it changed the whole atmosphere, and I think mom feels guilty about it. Mom wishes she could change it. Interesting. All right, so let me ask, what is the tower? What happened? What's the tower incident? Okay, what caused the disruption in the house? What caused the disruption in the house? What's that tower? What does the tower represent? Seven of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Six of Pentacles, King of Chalices. So, well, maybe I spoke too soon about mom. I don't know. We've got a lot of female figures coming up. We've got a lot of queens. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords. God, and the High Priestess. So either multiple women are coming up in this reading, or we've got mom who possesses all of these traits of these queens. So, and I think we all do to a certain extent, because we all have different personalities and sides to us, right? I mean, you can be in a good mood, happy one minute, loving, nurturing, and then something happens and you turn around, you're pissed off or something, or whatever the case may be, and your attitude just completely changes. So I think to an extent we all share different traits, okay? We're not 100% the Queen of Swords or the Queen of Hearts. the Queen of Cups, okay? So we do change. And so it kind of makes me feel like mom has different maybe personalities, and it kind of makes me think back to this Empress and him trying to please her. Because if you look at this card here, I mean, these two guys are kneeling down, okay? They're bowing down to her. And so it kind of makes me now, I mean, I know I literally just got done saying I don't think anything going on with mom, but then I turn around and I pull three queens. So was there something going on with mom? Because yeah, I've got one king, I've got the King of Cups, but look at all the women in this pull is unbelievable. And so I'm asking for clarification on the Tower, and it kind of makes me feel like mom had a lot going on, and maybe mom was hard to please. Maybe he could not please his mother. Maybe he tried. Maybe he struggled. It just seemed like maybe no matter what he did, he just didn't seem to make headway, or at least he didn't think he was making any headway. I mean, one minute she's nurturing and compassionate and loving, and then the next minute she's the Queen of Swords, which is somebody that you don't necessarily want to mess with. This is someone harsh and cold, okay? She's decapitated these people down here. This is someone that doesn't play, okay? This can be a cruel person, very cold and cruel. And then you've got the Queen of Cups, so this is, again, someone who can be kind and wonderful one minute and then turn and be this the next. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, so, you know, this is obviously, I would say that this is indicating, you know, the mother's ability to take care of Macin and to take care of the home. I mean, I'm sure that the husband was still possibly contributing to the household finances, but mom did have a job or a career. I don't know what she did, but, you know, I don't know if this is a woman who likes to spend, have nice things. I've never seen pictures of their home. I don't do the pictures until after I record my video, and then once I'm done, then I'll add the pictures in. So I don't know if this was a woman who liked things or had possessions or things that she enjoyed. I don't know. So I don't really know much about them at all as people, but this makes me feel like she did have multiple personalities, and it would make sense as to why he was so concerned as far as trying to please her, making her happy, okay? Making her happy, keeping her happy, because she could be happy one minute and she could be really nasty and cold and cruel the next. But I do think that whatever happened, I think that she has regrets. She's regretting this whole situation. I'm beginning to wonder if this has more to do with mom than it does dad. I do think that the King of Cups is dad. I think he too can be back and forth, wishy-washy. You know, I think that he, you know, the King of Cups is, to me, is just a person that, again, can be kind and pleasant one minute and then, you know, an ass the next. So that's what that is to me. And I like I said, I think we all can have that to a certain degree. And then we've got the High Priestess. So yeah, I think that's mom too, and I think that mom knows. I think mom knows what happened to Macin. I don't think that anything was done to Macin. I think Macin chose to leave. I think on his own he chose to leave. That was his decision. I think he was fed up. I think he felt like he could not make anyone happy, especially his mother, and he just was not happy himself. And he chose to leave, and I think that mom knows exactly what happened and why it happened. And I think that there's a lot more in that letter that she is letting us know. She knows. She has, I think either she knows or she has enough intuition about her, or instinct to know what happened. Seven of Wands tells me that he did come across possibly some danger. Seven of Wands is a defense card. It makes me kind of wonder if he possibly ran away with the intentions of coming back, but possibly came into some sort of foul play. This is definitely trying to keep people at bay, trying to defend yourself. You're being attacked by others, so it kind of makes me concerned if possibly he has run into some problems. The Ace of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. So this is interesting about this card here. The Six of Pentacles can be an exchange, okay? And it kind of looks like this person here is giving away food to these people down here. The first thing that popped into my mind was soup kitchen. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. And I do think that, if he did come into some foul play, I don't think it happened right away. I do think that there was a time where he could have possibly been living on the streets, okay, and kind of living from day to day and just kind of giving or receiving rather handouts as far as food. I don't think that whatever happened, if something did happen, it happened right away. Okay, so let's see if we can pull some more. And then, the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, this to me, this was definitely a plan, and I do think that there is some sort of record of it. This book is interesting. I kind of feel like this is affiliated somehow to that letter, okay? The letter that he left in his wallet. And there might be more. There might be more things that the family is aware of that we're not. I think that there's a lot of documentation that he has left behind, a lot of clues that he has left behind that we, the public, aren't aware of. And I think that kind of holds the key to what happened, and only a few people know those things. All right, where is Macin today? Where is Macin today? Where is Macin Smith today? Where is Macin Smith today? The Eight of Cups. Two of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. Okay. All right. So the Eight of Cups, this is a different image from your regular typical Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is usually the cups in front and the man with his back facing us walking away off into the mountains, okay, under the sunset. And it just it's a card that is saying, you're seeking something. There's something that you're seeking, some other fulfillment. You're leaving behind things that no longer serve you, and you're looking for new things, right? And so that's what this card is. So definitely I feel like Macin, there was something that in his life that was that tower moment, and I do think it was his electronics and his gaming being taken away from him. That was his tower moment, okay? A tower moment is going to be different for all of us, and those things were so valuable to him that when those things were taken away, again, I think that was it. That was his final straw, and that was his collapse at that point, okay? So I do feel like that was the catalyst, and he did leave intentionally. He chose to leave, okay? So now we need to focus on what happened to him after he left. Okay, so in this particular card, the first thing I notice is that there's two people in there. Normally there's just the one man walking away. So I take this person here as Macin, but I don't know who this person is right here. And they look kind of like they're hiding their identity. They've got a hood on. They have a creepy face. It looks like a book that he is holding. It looks like he's offering from a distance. It looks kind of like a cross. Okay, but I can't really tell if it's a cross or not. But it's almost like this person is offering something or this book to this person, and she doesn't want any part of it. And so it kind of makes me feel like somebody approached him. He came upon someone with intentions that weren't good, and he didn't want anything to do with it. Did they take no for an answer? I don't know, but I kind of feel like he came across someone that didn't have his best interest at heart. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. And so the Two of Pentacles, this is really, really different from the typical Two of Pentacles. I'm actually glad I chose this deck. So this Two of Pentacles shows an attack. And that's what I'm concerned about. I feel like something happened to him. I really do. I think that, yeah, something happened to him. Because if you look at that one and this one here, you've got the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a rough card as it is, okay? But then you've got, if you look at this, it tells a story. Him leaving, him being approached by someone, an attack, running away. Okay, and I need I say more? I do kind of feel like something happened, something devastating happened. He ran into someone. And then we've got this, and look, it literally looks like the same person. If you look at the hooded figure in this card and the hooded figure in this card. Okay, it's like the same person. It's one and the same. So whatever he used to approach Macin, I don't think Macin was having it. He didn't want anything to do with it. And that is the result, okay? Some sort of physical attack. And I do believe that he tried to get away. Okay? The swords are our consciousness, our thoughts, ideas, things like that. And so I think that he was clever enough to try to manage to get away. I don't know, let's see if we can figure out the rest of the story. So what happened after that? What happened after running away? What happened after that? Okay, so we've got the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So we've got another four. Okay, I think that's every four in the deck that we have drawn so far tonight. Again, that's foundation. This all started at home. This is all starting at home. The Four of Pentacles can sometimes mean being frugal, saving, spending too much, but this particular deck shows this man holding on to his possessions, okay, until the end of his days. This is a man who is not going to give up what he values, okay? He is holding on to that book forever. Okay, it looks like he's a skeleton. It looks like he's it looks like he's dead. Okay, and he's still holding on to that possession that's that valuable to him. And so I think this says a couple of things. This says that his possessions that he had taken away were more important to him than I think any of us can realize. Okay, I think for us it's like, well, it was a game, it was a phone, but I think that we underestimate how all children, for that matter, feel when we have, or if they have those things taken away. I think it does bother them more so than we think. But with Macin, I think it was even more so. It was devastating to him. It was that tower moment, like I said. He valued those things. Those were his life. Okay, so, this to me, and just the fact that this person looks like that doesn't really make me feel good. This doesn't look like a person that is, he looks like a skeleton. It can be kind of a creepy looking card. It is the Four of Pentacles, so I was thinking of the Four of Swords with the man laying down, but this doesn't look like it's a good ending to the story. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I do kind of feel like this was him in the beginning, out seeking something, when he first decided to leave. Yeah, I do. I feel like this was him when he first left. I think he had so much hope, and I think he was so devastated, and I think he had so much hope that this was actually going to be the answer to his problem, and it ended up not being. So I'm not happy with the way it's turning out. Where is Macin today? Where is Macin today? Where is Macin today? Okay, so that's all of our fours. Four of Swords. Temperance. Ten of Pentacles. Let me pull one more here. King of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I hate saying this. I really do. So I was mistaken. I thought I had pulled all the fours, but I pulled 3 of them. So this is the final one. I've pulled all 4 now in the deck. So definitely I think everything relates back to his home. Okay, it started at home, and it was just overwhelming for him to deal with. But we have a person here that the Four of Swords is a rest card, right? It's usually the man that's laying on, it looks kind of like he's laying in a coffin. It's the soldier with his, I think there's a sword by his arm, and there's 3 swords hanging up on the wall, if I'm not mistaken. It kind of just means that he's, you know, it's kind of that white flag moment. He's kind of given in, right? And so that's what this card is. This card here, it takes it to another level. It kind of looks like he's in a cemetery. So I honestly don't feel like he is alive at this point. I really don't. Which is, I hate saying that. We've got those dark clouds. We've got the cemetery. We've got this person just kind of staring off into the distance. And so I don't really feel like this is a good sign, and that was, I think, an answer to my question. I think this kind of shows the dad's personality as well. I think the dad came out as that King of Cups. I think the dad is also coming out with the king as the King of Swords. So I think that mom and dad had a tendency to be really, really harsh and cold at times. I don't necessarily think that they had bad intentions. I think that just, they were strict. And I think that Macin was just a little bit different in how he could handle it or cope with it, okay? And I think that his attachments, his emotions, or his attachments to his games and his anime was so much so that it just was too much. And I think add the depression that he dealt with, add the bullying at school that he dealt with, and being, you know, the youngest of 6 kids, and just I think it was just too much for him. It was overwhelming. The two of Swords. This is definitely Macin. Okay, definitely Macin. And I think it kind of shows the decision that he made that night. I mean, I think he made the decision, you know, in this case, he's blindfolded. Usually the Two of Pentacles, the woman is sitting on the bench and she's blindfolded with the water behind her. And I think in this case, it really means that he had no idea what he was doing. He was doing this out of, I think, frustration and just being at his wit's end and being angry at his parents. But he wasn't thinking of the consequences. He did try to run away before in the past. I think it was in the winter time, and it was in Canada, so it was very, very cold. And I think he was back within a day. Okay, so I think in his mind, he wanted to show something. He wanted to give some reaction and leave and kind of deal with it. But I don't think he was thinking of the consequences, nor did he expect to happen what happened. Okay, so I think he was really caught off guard. He did not expect what happened to him. We've got the Temperance, the Ten of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. So we've got a lot of Pentacles. So I think either pentacles can be health, or they can be materialism, or money. I think in this situation, the pentacles are representing the possessions that were important to Macin, which in this case was his gaming system, his electronics, his anime, his phone, all these things. That was what he had in his life. That's what made him happy. And so I think that's why the pentacles are coming out, because they were very valuable to him. Okay. I think pentacles are also coming out because I think money probably played a part after he did leave. I don't think that whatever happened to him happened right away. I think it happened after a time. And he did not have money. He was only 17. So what did I pull? Did I not pull that? Hold on a second. I think I pulled the Six of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. That Six of Pentacles makes me think of this one. It makes me think of a soup kitchen. That's what I feel like. I see him living on the street. I see him, taking donations or getting assistance, getting help from people, getting food from people. And I do think that was a lifestyle for him for quite a while. I don't know why he chose not to go back, or why he didn't go back home. I don't know. So I'll see if I can ask that. Interesting, we've got this Three of Pentacles here, which is usually a teamwork, right? It's the man working on the Three Pentacles, but in this card, he's painting someone. Okay, so we've got paint brushes, we've got the easel, and, he's painting kind of like a monster. Looks like a monster or a demon or something. So, is this just representing the people that he came in contact with? Because I do feel like there was a time that he was living on the street. And so I feel like in that time, he came across people that weren't the best, I don't think, to necessarily hang around. And I don't think he knew them for what they were. I don't think he pegged these people as being bad per se, and I think that maybe there was a little bit of naivete, or just being naive and not really recognizing the true harm that he was in. Okay, because this person here is kind of hiding in the back. He's dark, he looks scary, and this boy is just painting him like no big deal. And so I don't think he sees the harm in him, okay, like someone else would. And so I think that he kind of had his guard down while he was out there, and that maybe possibly got him into trouble as well. Seven of Pentacles. Again, this is... Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'm looking at, I can't even see. It's hard for me to even look at these cards in this deck and see the original card. I'm looking at the images because the images are so profound and so out there and in your face, and all I'm seeing is that it looks like this person here is being either haunted, either being watched by this creature behind him, possibly being it's like this man is in a trance. The Seven of Pentacles is usually a reflection card. You're having a stop and pause moment, making sure that, what you're doing is the right thing. It kind of makes me feel like there was a point in time where he did stop and say, am I doing the right thing? Do I need to keep going, or should I go home? And he chose not to go home. And I don't know why. As a matter of fact, let me put these two aside. Why didn't he go back home? Why didn't Macin go back home? Why didn't Macin go back home? If he had a moment of regret, why didn't he go back home? Why didn't Macin go back home? The Hierophant. So, okay, there we've got it. The Hierophant has finally made its way, right? So we've got, this is system. This is religion. It can be religion. It doesn't always have to be religion. But I think I did say in the beginning, in the intro, that if the Hierophant comes out, I do think it has something to do with the religious background of the family. Now, in this particular case, I think the Hierophant also represents the rules of the home. That is why he did not go back. He did not want to go back to the rules. He would rather stay out on the street, okay, and deal with whatever he was dealing with, than to go back and deal with the rules that he had at home. Okay, that's just my interpretation. You can disagree, but I do feel like this Hierophant is representing, because usually it represents the system of society, societal systems, societal norms, right? But in this case, the society is Macin's home. And I don't think he did not like it there. He did not like the rules. He did not like the rules, and this to me says that he would rather live on the street than to go back home and live by the guidelines that he was living by. So interesting. And then the Ten of Pentacles, and I think that sometimes, I think honestly this card kind of makes me feel like it wasn't all bad on the street. I don't think that it was, I think that there's people that he did come in contact with that helped him along the way and that he appreciated and made friends with. I don't think it was necessarily all bad. And then we've got Temperance. I think it kind of, again, okay. With this particular card, Temperance is usually a balance, right? It's a balance. However, in this particular Temperance card, we've got a person. Looks like she's dishing out something, okay, from her cup to this man's bowl. I don't know if it's water, I don't know if it's food, but you've got all these people here that look like they're kind of disheveled, and they're all waiting in line to get their serving, and it's very similar to this Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I definitely feel like this is a person that was living on the streets for a while. I'm not convinced that he is still alive simply because of that Four of Swords, but I do think that he was alive for quite a while, and he did live on the streets, and he chose that over going home. He chose that lifestyle rather than go home. So let me pull a couple of cards here with my Lo Scarabeo and see what else is going on here, because I don't know. This is just sad. Macin Smith. What can we learn about Macin Smith? Macin Smith. Where is Macin Smith? Where is Macin Smith? Where is Macin Smith? Where's Macin Smith today? Yeah, okay. So the Fool. Where is Macin Smith? Okay, this was a person, literally this card could not be more perfect for Macin in this instance. This is a person that literally packed a couple of things and left on an adventure. He was fed up, he was angry, he was upset with the whole situation at home, and he decided to up and leave. However, he was not prepared for what he was about to encounter. Okay, I think he came across eventually some harm. Okay, but this was a young man who was not prepared. He was really acting on emotions at that time. And you know, just, yeah, not prepared at all. Not prepared. Okay, and then we have the Page of Swords. Again, this is acting before thinking. Okay, this is him. He really acted out of anger and frustration. I think he was at his wit's end, and I don't think he was in the position to be able to express his feelings. I don't know if he felt like he couldn't express his feelings to his parents. Perhaps they wouldn't understand. Perhaps he didn't think they would understand. But this was a young man who, you know, chose to respond versus trying to work it out. That was his plan. He just reacted. Okay, he reacted, and he reacted without having fully understanding what he was doing or the consequences of what he was doing. And we've got the King of Cups, so I think that's Dad. Dad played a role. Not necessarily a role, but you know, Dad is coming out, so Dad is a factor. Seven of Wands. Okay, Lovers reversed, and we've got that Three of Pentacles again. So we've got the Three of Pentacles, so there's something going on with that. Seven of Wands, to me, this is just him going for it. This is just him saying, the hell with it, I'm out of here, I'm leaving, I can't take it anymore. And then we've got the parents reversed. I can't remember, I don't think I pulled the lovers in the first pull, but the lovers in this particular reading for Macin, because I don't think that he had much of a social life, and I'm not aware of any kind of girlfriend or anything like that, I do feel like this is the parents coming out. And they're reversed. So I don't know if the parents are still together or not. I think I read somewhere that they're divorced. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. So maybe you can write in the comment section below. I'm not sure if they're divorced, but I think they might be. There were some issues with the parents even at that time. I thought it was actually kind of weird that the mom moved from Canada to Utah for 6 months before the dad came along. That seems like a very long time for me to live apart from your spouse. I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, I understand it happens, but in this situation, it just seems like there was some sort of underlying issue going on there with these two, and I think that this shows that there was, in fact, some issues there with mom and dad. This is the second time the Three of Pentacles is coming out. So there's some significance to this. I kind of feel like somebody was helping him for a while. I really do. I feel like there's somebody that he may have reached out to and has kind of helped him and kind of worked with him. I don't know if it's someone that we're aware of, someone that he knew, someone that's a family member. I don't know, but I kind of feel like this is usually teamwork. So this is either someone helped him or he has worked really hard to maintain his life wherever he is at. Let me just ask again, where is Macin today? Because that Four of Swords did not make me happy. Where is Macin today? Where is Macin today? Where is Macin today? Is Macin alive? That's what I want to know. Is Macin alive? Macin alive. Okay. Okay, we've got King of Swords, Dad. We've got the Stars again, and we've got the Queen of Wands reversed. So a lot of issues with mom and dad. Definitely issues with mom and dad. I feel like they are definitely the catalyst. If we've learned nothing at all from this reading, I think that he definitely had enough issues with his parents that made him want to leave. The question is, what happened to him when he left? Star. We pulled that before. Let me ask again. Looking at that Star card. Let me ask again. Is Macin alive? Is Macin alive? Yes or no? Is Macin alive? I'm looking at that Star card, and I'm thinking about my question, and it's actually kind of giving me some hope that it's possible that he is alive, but so we've got the Devil. So do I have the Lovers here? Where's the Lovers? I don't know anything about this family, this mom and dad, and their 5 older children. I'd be curious, does anyone know if any of the older children ever came out and gave an interview or anything on behalf of their parents? I'd be interested to know, because either this is from Macin's perspective or point of view, or this is what was going on in the house. And you know, we've got that, we've pulled the King and Queen of Swords, and the King and Queen of Swords are not the most pleasant people in the deck. I mean, the King of Swords here, as well as the Queen, shows them, you know, decapitating someone, chopping their head off. Okay, so that is kind of, you know, this the way that this reading is kind of portraying the parents. So is it just because they're really, really strict? Or is there something else going on? Because the devil in this particular deck, again, has the, it looks like the couple down here, right? It has hold of the couple. It has chains on the couple. You know, those chains, actually, they're not even chained in this one, so they can easily walk away. They choose to stay at this point. They choose to be that way. So either this is what, either this is what Macin sees them as, or this is, let me ask again. Is Macin still alive? Is Macin still alive? Is Macin Smith still alive? Is Macin Smith still alive? Yes or no? Is Macin Smith still alive? Yes or no? Page of Pentacles. Honestly, I kind of feel like the page is something or someone young. Okay, this is like a new path, a new beginning, learning something new, a new passion. And I when I pulled that four, let me see if I can find it. When I pulled that four of swords in the last deck, that one really bothered me. And then the attack cards. Where is it? The Four of Swords. I'm really kind of confused as far as that Four of Swords. Where is it here? Top card, of course. So, hold on a second. Where's my Rider-Waite deck? I don't know, guys. I'm perplexed. I'm not convinced either way that he is dead or alive at this point. I feel like there could have been some physical attack on him at one point or another. I don't think life has been easy for him since he left. I think that he had an opportunity to come home and he chose not to. But you know, when the Four of Swords comes up in a reading to me, that can sometimes indicate death for me. Okay, it can be a rest card, it can be a meditation card, it can be taking time out. Okay, it just can be taking a leave or a break or a vacation or something. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean death, but sometimes, especially in a reading like this, it kind of makes me feel that way. And so when I see the things like the cemetery and whatnot, and then when I see, you know, I put that with the page, I think of new beginnings, transitioning to something new. Where was the other one? The Star card. Okay. Those can sometimes tell a story of a transitioning, okay, of sorts. And so it kind of makes me feel like that. Since I have the Rider-Waite out, let me just pull a few cards and see. Let me ask. Well, I'm already at an hour and 4 minutes, so let me just go ahead and pull. I haven't used my Rider-Waite in a while, so let me just pull a couple of cards to finish out this reading. And then you guys can kind of determine what you get from the cards, okay, because what you get may be different from what I get. But I do think that he chose to leave. Absolutely, without a doubt, he chose to leave. And that night that his dad took those things from him was the icing on the cake for him. That was it. That was the last straw. He was done. Okay, he was done. His parents took away something that was so valuable to him, more valuable than we can understand. Okay, that was what he valued and what he enjoyed doing, and that was it for him. What's final pull here? Final message from Macin Smith. Final message from Macin Smith. Final message from Macin Smith. Oh, the devil, of course. Wow, what are the odds? Page of Swords. The High Priestess. Wow, something significant about that Three of Pentacles, because I've pulled that Three of Pentacles 3 times now. And we've got 3 people, right? We've got Mom, Dad, and we've got Macin. So are those the 3 people that are coming out? So there's something significant about the home, the foundation, okay, the parents, and 3 people. And we've pulled the devil twice now as well. So the devil doesn't come out very often unless it needs to. So there's something going on in that house that we don't know. Okay, there's something else, I think, to the story that we're not aware of. Those 3 people are the only ones that know. Okay, so that to me represents Macin, Mom, and Dad. There's something going on here that we're not aware of, because that cards don't come out 2 or 3 times over and over just because of randomness. It just doesn't happen. Again, we've got the Page of Swords, so this is acting before thinking. The Knight of Cups, again, I think I pulled the Knight of Cups. I think I pulled the Knight of Cups in the other deck. I think that this just kind of shows his feelings towards his possessions. I think that, feelings is, he really truly loved his anime and his games, and I think it was way more important to him than what we realize. And we've got the High Priestess. Second time that one's come up. I think this one's come up a couple of times. Again, I think this just kind of represents his idea to leave. But this one here makes me feel like I think Mom knows exactly what happened. I think that Mom knows. I think the parents know more than what they're saying. I really do. Because in the beginning when I first pulled, I think I recall saying, I don't think Mom's involved or anything like that, but the more I pulled, the pull right after that, I think about 3 queens came out. So I do think this stemmed from home, and I do think the parents know exactly what happened, and there's something going on in that house that's not good. One last final card. Will Macin ever be found? Will Macin ever be found? Will Macin ever be found? Will Macin Smith ever be found? Will Macin Smith ever be found? Hangman. Well, if he is, it's going to be a long time. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, because this is a hanging out card, right? A hanging around. So I know we're going on 6 years, but I would venture to say if we do find out any information, it's going to be way in the future. It's not going to be. And look at that. We've got an upside down 4. His legs make a 4. Okay, so there's some significance to 4, and it all goes back to home. It all goes back to home. Goes back to that home, his home, Macin's home. 4 is foundation. That's where it started. It started at home. Something happened at home. I cannot express it enough. His legs came out for a reason. Yeah, this is the Hangman. His legs make a 4. They don't always make a 4. Yeah, this has been an interesting read. I'm going to stop it there. I could continue on all night, really, to be honest with you, until I pulled every deck or every card in the deck. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If anything popped out at you that I did not see, please comment in the description box below. Very interesting read. Very interesting read. Did not go at all like how I thought it was going to. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, have a great week, and I will see you next Saturday or Sunday.